it turns out the rumors were true. For a while now, we've been receiving little hints that ATLUS may be working on a Persona 3 remake, from the UI Todai dorm being in the files of P5. There was also that footage of Yukari fighting a shadow in HD floating around, but once website domains started to get updated, saying P3RE, even skeptics started to believe. And today, we know the truth. Persona 3 Reload is real, and it's coming in early 2024. Let's talk about it. But before we get into the trailer breakdown, a quick call to action and an introduction. Hi, I'm JohneAwesome, and you may know me from my award-winning Let's Play series of Pokemon Go, where I play in the middle of traffic for views. But that was all in the past, and now I'm trying to achieve a more noble goal of talking about the Persona games, a series I have a very high affinity for. And if you enjoy Persona videos, please hit that subscribe button. I have a lot more on the way, and trust me, you don't want to miss any of that. From Persona 5 X, Persona 3 Reload, and Persona 5 Tactica, you could say I'm your one-stop shop for P content. That's Persona content. I should edit that out. Okay, let's move on to the actual breakdown, which will be a mix of facts, opinions, and speculation from yours truly. But if you've never experienced Persona 3 before, do not fret. I am not going to soil that experience for you. You're going to be okay. Don't sweat it. That's my JohneAwesome guarantee. So, let's get into it. For those who don't know, Persona 3 Reload is a remake of ATLUS's 2006 breakout RPG, built from the ground up in Unreal Engine, featuring new and rearranged music, new animated cutscenes, as well as a new animated opening. We also have a brand new feature in this version of the game, known currently as side episodes for certain characters. It's not totally clear yet what a side episode is exactly, but during today's trailer we did view a scene with Yukari and the Persona 3 hero where they're making a meal and enjoying it together, which was not a part of her social link in past versions of Persona 3. The in-game date being early on in the school year leads me to believe this may be the side episodes the directors were referring to. During a Famitsu interview, when asked about side episodes, Yamauchi, the game's director, stated, "Side episodes are a chance to dive deeper into relationships with specific characters that didn't see the limelight in the original Persona 3. What characters do you think he's referring to? Sure, in the trailer we see Yukari, who is, I think we can all agree, the game's heroine and definitely fleshed out as far as characterization goes. But there's more than a handful of different characters in the cast I want to learn more about and could definitely benefit from being fleshed out. It's also been confirmed that side stories are a supplement to social links and not actually the same thing, so yeah, that's a huge change for P3 Reload. But speaking of social links, we see the franchises first. The magician Arcana, Kenji Tomochika, chowing down on some ramen, almost verbatim speaking his lines from the original Persona 3. In fact, a lot of aspects of the original Persona 3 are present in this trailer. There are no new stores in Polonia Mall, or new locations on the world map. So far, Reload seems to be a faithful recreation to the original game. Except for Tartarus. Even the most fervent Persona 3 defenders can admit that, yeah, Tartarus, the game's primary dungeon, it's not perfect. You could use a little tweaking, just a little. Yeah, it's not my favorite. And great news! That seems to be what Persona 3 Reload is trying to change the most. In the few moments of combat footage we saw, Tartarus is almost unrecognizable. Long gone are the claustrophobic hallways, and in their place are wide, spacious floors. Like really wide floors. So much so, a dash button has been confirmed to be added. And this is a direct quote, so players don't get bored. At least they're self-aware. Once inside a battle, though, we get a look at a new, streamlined moon combat menu, similar in layout to Persona 5's. A piece of the moon is removed to create the new menu, leaving a crescent moon behind, and it's a far departure from the base game's design, that's for sure. In OG P3, the menus are reminiscent of a revolver, and while that is cool in theory, it's a bit slow, especially if you want to go from one side of the barrel to the other. So I see this as an absolute improvement. It's very nice to see at a glance who's up next just by staring at where that moon's going to be. But does that mean every member of the party is going to get their own color, similar to P5? If so, that's That's definitely new because a lot of these characters wear blue. It's a very blue game. But we also get a look at what may be the new critical animation, as both the main character and Yukari have shots of their faces super close up, and then the main character does what appears to be 2 additional hits. I'm not 100% sold that this is just the critical animation, because when the P3 hero goes to swipe this shadow, it doesn't actually display the words critical. And it's also just 2 individual hits. Is this a new mechanic? Which, frankly, Persona 3 really needs to spice up its combat. But without further information, it's a bit too early to tell. Outside of the trailer, we also received a text-based interview from video game news journalist IGN, and this has got the internet in a bit of a fuss, but yes, it does appear that certain features from Persona 3 Portable and Persona 3 FES Edition may not be appearing in P3 Reload. A major disappointment to many, the direct quote being, "So first I'd like to mention that since the basic concept of the Persona 3 remake was to remake Persona 3, we don't have the FES and portable contents included." Now, if we take this at face value, this deconfirms a lot of features that were present in Persona 3 FES. For those not in the know, a quick primer on the many versions of P3. The original version of Persona 3 had a lot of bugs, as it was a few of the devs' first game. So an FES version was sold, fixing these bugs and adding new additional content, like a hard mode, outfits for the party, a new social link with the Aeon Arcana, and multiple outings with a fan favorite character. In this reviewer's opinion, not having specifically the Aeon Arcana and those dates with that fan favorite character, I mean, that just doesn't make any sense. There is no way that is what they meant. I'm at least hopeful the producer was only referring to not including the answer, an additional story epilogue that was featured with FES and was roughly 30 hours long, and I'll get to it one day, I swear. Now, as for Persona 3 portable content not being included, that is really a shame, as I've recently been playing Persona 3 Portable on the channel, and I've fallen in love with not only the female protagonists, but some of the new social links they added in that game are quite possibly the best social links the franchise has to this day. But I suppose that's why they released the Persona 3 Portable Remaster as a sort of, it's better than nothing. The last bit of concrete news is that at least in North America, the original Persona 3 voice actors have had their roles recast, and some new blood will be entering the scene. Frankly, I know I'll be missing Michelle Ruff as Yukari. Her performance was just, man, she killed that crap, bro. Like, I'm sorry. I know I'm biased. I've been listening to her acting for years, but even as far as like Persona 3 dancing, like, bro, she still sounded just like she used to. But I'm excited to see new stars come into the Persona world and bring their own perspective and talent to these fan favorite characters. One of my favorite stories to come out about this is the OG Persona 3 voice actor Yuri Lowenthal speaking with the new voice for the P3 hero, saying, "I'm so glad it was you," and how, you know, he was his role model. That's just, dude, I might cry. Now keep in mind, the trailer is not that long. I seriously combed as much as I could through every screenshot, every like still picture. And other than, oh hey, there's an email icon now. Wonder what that's about. That wasn't in P3, you know, we're pretty much out of news. Like, I'm sure they're going to show some things as time goes on, but what I see is like, I'm sorry. I know it doesn't look perfect to everybody. There's some criticisms of the visuals, but I know, and hopefully you know, that's a work in progress. But this is just exciting stuff. This is ATLUS's possibly first 4K video game, and it looks good, bro. This is also an opportunity to train up new staff to work on Persona properties. And you gotta keep in mind, P3 kind of goofy, bro. Like, that was some people's first video game. That bed is gigantic. Look at that door. What is up with that? And don't get me started with Yukari's hair and the animation. That ain't even the right person, bro. Who is that? That's not Yukari. So from a visual standpoint, there's like definitely room for improvement. And as far as gameplay goes, man, like, listen, I'm one of those weirdos that actually loves Persona gameplay. I know, what's wrong with me? And them changing Tartarus up in any way, shape, or form is big because, man, it's a basic Persona game. Like, P5 has spoiled us. You got baton pass, technical, status effects are actually useful, all these new element types and everything. And P3 could definitely benefit from some of those changes. Are they going to go crazy? Are they going to reinvent the wheel? I don't think so, but even just going as far as to change aspects of Tartarus would be a just... Oh my God. Don't even get me started on Tartarus. That is the thing I'm the most excited for. Listen, I played through P3 very recently. I'm still playing through it, and Tartarus is a slog. They need to change up a lot, and based on the interviews, that is what they are giving the most attention. For those not in the know, Tartarus is a randomly generated dungeon. Think Mystery Dungeon if you've ever played those games, and it's... ooh... not my personal definition of fun. Don't get me wrong, when I first played the game, I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy, but standards have evolved. And hopefully Atlus can take some inspiration from some roguelikes or just general level design and make Tartarus actually fun to visit. That is the thing I'm so excited for. And the side, stories, like what's up with that? That seems cool. But mostly revamping Tartarus. Oh my God, the possibilities are endless. My other questions are like, what systems will this be revealed for? It was leaked ? That it may be coming to Nintendo Switch. I know that's huge for a lot of you guys, so I'm really hoping that is the case. And are they going to add some of the P3 movie songs to the OST? Because those are some of the best like Atlus things ever made, and I would really like that. And are they going to rewrite certain social links? Because frankly, man, they're kind of short and a lot of them are just not good. Kenji, I'm looking at you. Listen. You... oh, God, I hate him. But I'll say less. Let's talk about the other announcement, which got completely overshadowed. It's not even funny. Persona 5 is getting its 4th spinoff. Yes, the 4th one. I can't believe it either. Persona 5 Tactica was revealed today to be Persona's new tactic RPG. And frankly, this game's announcement was ratioed by Atlus themselves. Oh my God, you couldn't announce this a little sooner? Like, I feel bad for everyone involved. Talk about a tough act to follow, but what's the game about? Let me explain. The story of Persona 5 Tactica takes place during the winter of P5's campaign. The Phantom Thieves are sitting in LeBlanc when the TV starts acting weird and suddenly the earth begins to shake. After the gang regains consciousness, they notice the door to LeBlanc has changed into a handle with a bullet emblem on it. After touching it, the gang is transported to a new world that resembles a warped fantasy retelling of the French Revolution. Now, it's not confirmed to be the French Revolution, but there was a giant cake in the trailer and an evil monarch. And if you know anything about history, let them eat cake, French Revolution, I'll say less. So it's a pretty safe assumption that yes, this evil giant pink queen with barely any clothing on, what? Is Marie Antoinette, the last queen of France, and our adversary, as she quickly launches a spiky tank from outside of a castle, and shadows begin attacking our crew. Unfortunately, Joker and the gang are completely defenseless until a girl named Elle rushes in to save them. From the sounds of things, Elle is a member of the Rebel Corps, a group that is charged with destroying these shadows, or at least starting a rebellion. Details are a bit scarce, as this trailer is also pretty darn short, but the game seems promising. In particular, I do enjoy these 3D animated cutscenes, which seem similar to the Persona Q style. It's not yet been confirmed if Etrian Odyssey artist Yuji Himokai is involved or not. I'm leaning closer towards not, as he hasn't tweeted anything about his involvement, and it's most likely they're just referencing the Q style, which, yeah, that makes sense. That's just how they make chibis, right? So, who can say? As far as gameplay goes, you assemble a party of 3 and just fight your heart out in turn-based tactics combat similar to XCOM or Fire Emblem. And frankly, I dig it. The all-out attack system is called Tribe Angle, which is very silly. In the trailer, we also get to see another time period, so maybe this is a game where we're like traveling all across history, being revolutionaries. The first level appears to be based in the France Revolution, and we also have the Bakumatsu era, aka the late Edo period. If you played Like a Dragon Ishin, you should know all about that. So we might be fighting with or against the Japanese Shinsengumi, which, I mean, that is just an awesome level concept. I'm down for that. In the Edo era, we did see these little goofy mascots a little more closely, and it looks like they're also in the French level as well. So I think these are the stand-ins for like human characters. They just happen to look like the Phantom Thieves logo, but other than L, we are assisted by this character in the logo. I don't know who they are, but I know for a split second I thought that was Nanjo, and I was about to lose my mind. But most likely, just like L, he's a character made exclusively for this game. There's also one more thing of note, not revealed specifically in the trailer, but on the website we see this graphic of Arsene being devoured by a plague rat. It's really weird imagery. I don't know who that's supposed to represent, but they are advertising a DLC episode featuring a surprising character's return. So when I think of dirty, disgusting rats, you know who I'm thinking of. That's right. Kasumi? What the? It's probably Goro Akechi. Like, I'm serious. Like, a surprising character. Who else could it be? He's usually top 5 in most popularity polls. So, yeah. If they're trying to sell any additional content with his character, this is the game to do it, I guess. We've heard rumors about a Akechi spin-off title for a while now, and this is probably what they were referring to. But how is a tactics game going to work when it's just one guy? You know, we know Akechi likes to work solo, right? Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. But all in all, a amazing day for ATLUS news. Like, it's been quiet for a while now, but man, they've been working, people. God dang! And that just about does it for the Persona news update. I understand the footage we saw was roughly 3 minutes total, but I tried my hardest to just glean through every single screenshot, every trailer, every interview to amass all the news into one single video, and also add all my thoughts because, you know, I'm a commentator. It's what we do. But that is all for me today. If you are also looking forward to my coverage of Metaphor, ReFantazio, ATLUS's brand new RPG IP, that video is also a work in progress. It's a big news day for ATLUS fans, and I have a lot to say about that one. Hope you enjoyed, though. Make sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss a new video. And yeah, that'll do it for me. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Bye.